my dear colleagues, principal officers, provost and his team, very distinguished gentlemen of the press, dear parents who are here, I want to welcome you to this press briefing, even as I apologize to the distinguished gentlemen of the press for keeping them waiting. I just had an emergency meeting with parents who came in to interact with us as management. That is actually what held us back a little. They have been here on time. We apologize for that. I want to very sincerely appreciate the gentlemen of the press, led by the chairman, for being our partners in progress. We thank you very much for always responding to our calls. You have made our stay in the university, my administration in the university, made our work a little bit better and easier, because you're always there to report our own side of the story, especially in this era of social media. And that is exactly why we are calling here today. We are all aware of the social media stories that are ongoing now as a result of the current challenges the university is facing in the induction of a final year of graduating students of dentistry. The stories that have been spread in the social media are actually distorted and a misrepresentation of facts. We are not saying the facts are not there. To an extent they are correct, but they are misrepresenting the facts and distorting the facts. Hence, it has become pertinent for us to meet with you to let our students, although I've met with our students earlier, last week on Thursday precisely, our dear parents who are eager to see their students graduate from dentistry, and the general public to know the truth about the matter, and not just knowing the truth, also to know the efforts we are making to resolve the problem. Our dentistry program of the University of Calabar started in 2013-2014 academic session. In November 2019, the Medical and Dental Council granted the university the preclinical dentistry accreditation, which was held in November 2019. The clinical dentistry accreditation was in December 2020, and we had full accreditation from the Medical and Dental Council in 2020, meaning that our current accreditation from dentistry subsists till 2027. However, and very unfortunately, from the records available, from inception of 2013 to 2014, as a university, we have not adhered to the given quota of 10 in any of the admission year, meaning that the problem we are facing now predates my administration. In December 2022, when the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria actually came for the clinical accreditation, At the end of the clinical accreditation, they had a post-accreditation meeting with management where the attention of management was drawn to the oversubscription and admission of our students. The MDCN then advised the university to stop further admission and went on to say that if we stop further admission, the council will work with the university and find out modalities of graduating the students who are already in the program. As a responsible administration, we kept faith to that advice, with the advice, and stopped further admission into dentistry. Currently, our dentistry students are in their 4th year, their 5th year, and 6th year. These are the students we actually having challenges with. We know that council also advised us then to improve on our facilities and the academic staff with a view to inviting them after 6 months for a reassessment of our facilities and perhaps a review of our quota of 10 upwards. Council, because they know we have stopped admitting, has also kept faith with us and has inducted 3 sets of our students previously. We do appreciate council for bending backwards actually to induct our students. The current challenge came because the graduating set of students now are 60, which is well over about 6 times the number approved. These actually are not students where they are 6th year. They are students who have graduated. Outside that set, we still have students in 6th year. So the students that have graduated now are 60, and 31 of them pass their final exams, and others are to write receipts. We sent the list of the students to MDCN for induction. It was at this point that MDCN refused to induct the students, the 31 of them, saying that the quota this time, or the number of graduating students, was too high. We're concerned with the development and we're determined to explore all the avenues to address the issue. And so on the 3rd of July, the Vice Chancellor, with the Provost of the college and the Dean of the college, or the Dean of the faculty, went to Abuja to meet with the Registrar of Medical and Dental Council, who was with the Deputy Registrar. So we actually met, 5 of us. At the end of the meeting, after about 2 hours, we appreciate the council for giving us that audience. After about 2 hours of brainstorming, the council resolved that the SS students in year 4, 5, and 6 should be transferred to other sister universities who are running dentistry program. And there are only 14 of such universities across the country, Calabar being one of such universities. They also resolve that the graduating sets, the 31 who had already graduated and are waiting induction, should be put on hold, and we should improve on our facilities, the dental chairs, the phantom heads, and the staff, and invite them for a reassessment of our facilities. And thereafter, Council, if satisfied with the facilities we have, will review our quota. We were resolved not to keep our students in the dark and the parents. We came back home and decided to have an interface with our students and parents. We invited students and parents to a meeting which held on Thursday, the 10th of July. The meeting had the principal officers of the university and the management of the college in attendance, and some of the parents. At the meeting, the decision of the council MDCN was conveyed to students and their parents, and the efforts we are making to ensure that we invite council shortly for a reassessment and verification of our resources. Gentlemen of the press, let me pause here to say that this quota of 10 was granted to the university in 2016. And after that, a lot has been put in place for dentistry program by the university. In terms of facilities, today we have 40 phantom beds, we have 26 dental chairs. We have 2 buildings standing to show for the program. We may not have invited them back for a reassessment because of staffing. And I'm able to say here that since I came on board, the issue of staffing has been on the burner of this administration. You are all aware of the sensational media, even for us not payrolling some staff in the system. You're also aware of the fact that we have been dragged to court and even to the National Assembly 9 times over payrolling some staff that we inherited. And we have consistently maintained the fact that we do not have the resources to pay such staff. There was no money for us to pay staff. And it is still because we have no money that we have not been able to engage staff for dentistry program. We have made letters to NUC. We have written to the ministry as soon as I came on board. We have written to the head of service of the Federation. We have made several appearances before the head of service to present the case of inadequate staff in some of our critical programs, especially our professional programs that were started just before the takeoff of the introduction of IPPIS. And the fact that it became impossible for university and Vice Chancellor to employ staff. Several meetings and several letters we have not been permitted. Because we do not have staff, we could not invite the council for a reassessment of our facilities. Because staffing, we know, is a critical issue. We have depended largely on adjunct staff, sabbatical staff, and contract staff. Even some of these staff that we have been depending on a large number of them across the universities haven't been paid their salaries, the monies and entitlement for what they have worked for. But during our interaction with the students, we did mention to them that clearly the current Minister of Education, working with the head of service, from the presidential directive that we are aware of that was given in 2024 or thereabout, asking universities to be removed from IPPIS. The minister had worked with the head of service and has granted us waiver to employ 218 academic staff. We did mention that to parents and the students in that interaction. We are complied with all the documentations. Currently, we have sent our letter of clearance to the budget office in Abuja. So we are waiting for the clearance. That is what is holding us from advertising for employment and asking for people to apply. Once we get the clearance from the Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, we will immediately advertise. And we also presented these facts before the Dental Council, Medical and Dental Council. We are also very aware of the fact that the university recently is a beneficiary of the largesse from the presidency through the Honorable Minister of Education for a special intervention of 4.75 billion naira for medical college, precisely for dentistry, for pharmacy, for nursing, and for medicine and surgery. Just these 4 programs. The minister set up a ministerial council, a committee, that is currently working on the modalities of implementing and assessing such funds. We have submitted our needs and our requirements to the committee, and we are waiting and hoping that very soon that will be resolved. We also did mention to parents and our dear students to be patient with us, and that with this special intervention from Mr. President, we are hopeful that more of our facilities will be improved upon. We already captured 16 dental chairs in the records in what we sent to the committee, meaning that once we can procure 16 additional dental chairs, we'll be having 42 dental chairs. Right now we have 26. We have pleaded, and we are still pleading with our parents and our children to be patient. Currently, the provost of the college is interacting with other provosts and deans of dentistry for openings for possible transfer as directed by the Medical and Dental Council of our students to these universities. Once that is done, we are going to adopt a very transparent method for the transfer of the students who are likely to be transferred to other universities. Once clearance is also given to us, we are going to employ academic staff. And once we get these 16 extra dental chairs, we are going to be inviting, and I hope very soon, inviting the registrar, the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, to the University of Calabar for a reassessment of our facilities. And hopefully, even with what we have on ground now, if the council comes, definitely our quota will be increased. We want to say to parents and students that the University of Calabar current problem and challenges with dentistry has nothing to do with accreditation. The university is not running non-approved programs, unapproved programs. We are also not been indicted by the council regarding accreditation. We will explore all avenues and all opportunities to put in place the needful and bring back the council very soon for a reassessment of our facilities. I want to use this opportunity to urge our students who feel frustrated right now, who feel very disillusioned. Some of them are getting into depression even, and it's understandable. But we plead with them to show some understanding. As a university, we resolve these issues. And we know our students at the end of the day will graduate as dentists, thus achieving their desired dream of being dentists. We also want to use the opportunity to plead with our Honorable Minister, who is doing so much for Nigerian university system, and indeed is doing so much for us. From what I've just told you here, special intervention which they are to attract, because he himself is a medical doctor. So he knows actually what it takes to train medical personnel. We actually plead that it should facilitate, help us to facilitate the clearance from the budget office so that we can employ the needed staff and equally get the 16 dental chairs to quicken the visits by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. I please also call on our parents across the country and world over to be patient with us, and that whatever problem, wherever there is a problem, there is a solution, and that we will work with the Medical and Dental Council and with our Honorable Minister of Education to get a solution to the current impasse in the University of Calabar dentistry students. Thank you, gentlemen of the press, for always being here for us. Thank you.
President, let me commend you for your proactiveness by calling us here to listen to your side to the story which broke out last week. At least this will help us put a closure to it. Distinguished colleagues, I'm sure we all have questions. Please introduce yourself once again, your medium, and put forward your question.
Thank you, Chairman, for giving me this opportunity. Richard Norman is my name. I work for Leadership Newspaper. I speak as a parent, not just as a journalist. Madam, you read our papers so much. I share my paper with you, leadership, but I didn't bother to at least put up anything against you. Because when you say this, people are delusion, people are traumatized, I am one. Because I invested all my time and energy on my son who's in 400 levels. I do not know, can you mention the names of the universities that are running this program? Because the reason is that those Boko Haram states, no same parent will hear that you want to send, like me, I can't imagine sending my boy to Borono, because I know that definitely Borono will definitely have such program. I've been trying to make my own 5 days, but I'd love to hear from you. Even Prof. I do not know you, but I have your number and all that. Just tell myself, I said, no, I will not put a telephone call. The only person I called was Tayo. And he was evasive. He didn't even want to give me anything that I wanted. So can you just read out those universities that are running these programs? Thank you, ma'am.
We have the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, College of Health Sciences, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, College of Medical Sciences, University of Benin, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, College of Health Sciences, University of Port Harcourt, College of Medicine, University of Nigeria, Enugu Campus, College of Medicine, Lagos State University, Ikeja, College of Medicine, University of Maiduguri, College of Medicine, Bayero University, Kano, University of Medical Sciences, Ondo City, Ondo State, College of Medical Sciences, University, okay, that's University of Calabar. I told you that they are state. College of Medical Sciences, University of Jos, David Umahi Federal University of Health Sciences, Ebonyi, and I think these are 13, which is the 14th?
Is the one at
Tertiary.
Tertiary in Manchester.
Yes, and the Federal University of Tertiary in Bauchi State. So there are 14 of them. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Christian John. I work with the News Agency of Nigeria. Man, we listen to you and my challenge is this. Man, you are coming to the end of your term. And the vigor with which you are looking into this issue, my give office, and someone comes in. I don't know if the same vigor will be used to look into this issue. Now, because you can't tell us soon that this clearance will be done soon, and the council will come, and we don't know how soon. And the students that we've interacted with have said something like, I'm not so informed about this whole medical school thing, that they can also be attached to those in medicine and surgery. I could not explain it, that's what they want, that they do the same program. And that's a possibility. So I don't know, I'd like you to explain to us if this is a possibility. And the fact that you believe in soon, are you sure someone else that will come in will handle this thing the way, well, you may be able to handle it? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, let me take one.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ikeo Chechuku. I work with the newspapers. I just want to find out, these other universities that you are looking into, the other 13 universities, what about their own quota? What happens if you go there and your quota is filled up also? How do you absorb these other people that are coming from you?
So we'll take this one, you respond before we take that.
My name is Frank William. I work with the Conversia. My question is also regarding the level of the students, like the academic level, when they are transferring and then maintaining the same level at those universities. And then what of the ones that, because you say that for those that want to transfer, provoke their transfer? What of those who say they don't want to transfer? What will be their fate? And also, if, like my colleague asked, if maybe venture you want to fix them in other departments in the school, are they maintaining the same level of the academic year? Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. Well, I appreciate the fact that you said I'm putting all the vigor I'm putting into resolving the issue. Administration, I know, is continuous. And I guess I even knew the journalists have quoted that today. You will recall that when we came on board, we were greeted with a lot of challenges from some of these students who were stepped down, some in 400 level, all in professional programs to 100 level. If some of you have been following events, you recall that. That were greeted with demonstrations almost on every week, not almost, every week we had demonstrations on campus when I came on board. And we also had the challenge with dentistry. And that is why when I met with my parents, I told them I feel very bad. Because we are putting so much effort to send these our students over. And we feel so bad that this problem is coming up now. For us to even have full accreditation from both Dental Council and NUC shows that a lot has gone into dentistry of University of Calabar. And I don't see any VC who will be coming to take over from me who will not be interested in the welfare of students. When a VC is not interested in the welfare and the problems of students, then there is no reason the basis being a Vice Chancellor. Because without the students, there is no university. So we have always taken the problems of our students head on. That was why we were able to resolve the problems of the 13 programs we met that when students were brought down from year 4 to year 1. We started and got accreditation for those programs. Some of them, the students are graduating now. But I know that I still have a few months to go. And I will feel very bad if I leave and leave this problem hanging and my students don't know in their fates. I won't feel fulfilled. And because of that, I know we'll resolve this problem during my tenure. I will work for this problem. Yes, somebody will say how the money that is federal government money may not be released. The money will be released. The Minister of Education, I told you, is a medical doctor. Renowned doctor, not just a local doctor, renowned doctor who has spent his years out there. And he just came here to serve us. He knows, and that is why he wants to reposition the medical programs all through. This money is there. It's not money that government is going to look for. This intervention is coming from TED Fund, and TED Fund money is there. So it's as good as the money is there. What is left now is the due process that will be done. Is the committee has written to us that they will be coming to visit us. In the next few days, we may have the committee visiting to come and inspect some of the things, because we have sent our needs to them. They want to come and see actually whether what we have sent actually the things we need. The minister does not want to take chances in anything. And so the committee will be coming to the university. Once that is done, due process will be done, money will be released, and the data chairs will be procured for the employment.
Suggestions of the students.
Suggestions? Okay. For the students switching, attaching them to med-surg, yes. Yes, I thought so too, that we could switch them to med-surg. But the years these students are, it's only 1 year, year 4, that even if we had places, we had openings in medical med-surg, they would have switched over to. Year 5 cannot switch, year 6 cannot switch. Because they do the same programs from year 1 to year 4. After year 4, they go their different ways. So 500 and 600 level students cannot be moved to medical and surgery. But the challenge for us as a university is that our quota for med-surg is equally saturated, full. So we can't actually, otherwise we'll be compounding another problem. So we can't move them. Now, let me quickly take that to say, those who want to move. It's not like those who want to move. It's, the council said, they are not closing our dentistry program. We still retain students. The excess are the students that will move. So when we retain the one we retain, we'll transfer the excess students to other universities. That is where we will adopt a very transparent system to transfer them, so that every student will be given equal opportunity of getting the university of one's choice. I appreciate his worry as a parent. We are coming up with such modalities. And I'm looking at, even next week, we are going to publicize a meeting with parents. Because I know most parents are even more worried. We are going to call for another interactive session with parents once we get done with our interaction with other universities. We'll call parents and tell them the universities that have agreed to take one number. It's for now, it's a continuous process. We are not sending these students away today. They are still in the middle of their program. They have not completed this academic session. So they will be allowed to complete the academic session, and then so that when they are transferring, they are going to a new session entirely. So if the transfer is not something that we are planning to send students out away tomorrow. It's just that the council has prepared our minds, and that is why we too came back to prepare the minds of our parents and our students. The quota of the receiving universities. I want to appreciate the registrar of the Medical and Dental Council and her team, because she was quite willing, and she's willing to assist. They are all ready, of course that's their job. They are willing to help. They said if we are ready today to invite them, they will come. Also, she promised us and said that almost every other university has met its own quota. But she was going to give a special consideration, special quota for those universities to take Unical, without necessarily affecting their own quota. Meaning that if their quota is 30, you still have your quota of 30. The extra quota she will give you for Unical will be extra and will not affect you. We asked all this. We asked all this when we went there. And so she assured us that they will accommodate as well without necessarily affecting the quota of the receiving and sister universities that will be willing to take our students. All we need to do is to partner with them and know how many they are ready to take. I guess I answered all that I've been asked on that level. Okay, the level of student, whether the students will be stepped down. Well, I think that is what I would have said, let the dean speak on that. But even the dean may not be able to speak on that. I had thought that the medical school is running uniform program. But let me say here that we are all regulated by NUC and Medical and Dental Council. So the curriculum from one university to the other university will not be significantly different. That I can say without knowing their curriculum. Because we have what is called the minimum benchmark. And with that minimum benchmark, for these students, we are using minimum benchmark, which was, they are not for CC math. The minimum benchmark, meaning that every university will meet that minimum benchmark before you have the extra. So perhaps our students may have problems with the extra that the universities have. But for now, they all are running almost, largely, the same curriculum. So it's not as if our students are going to a system where it will be so strange to them when they transfer. In fact, perhaps a course that we may be offering in year 3, another university offers it in year 5. Or maybe a course that we offer in year 5, another university offers it in year 3. That would just be the difference. And when that happens, the university that is accepting to receive our students will look at that and appropriately place our students. They are not going to step down students so much or step them down. Let me say here that just some 2 years ago, we were one of the universities that helped a sister university that had a problem too in medicine and surgery. We took some of their students and they continue with us and they are still right now with us. They are not graduated from medicine and surgery. When there are problems like this, universities will work together to help resolve the issue for a sister university. So we are hopeful we will resolve that.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. I want to laud you and your team for the efforts you put so far, because it looks as though you have a human face to this challenge. However, first of all, I'd like to find out what the modalities you have for those that you will be retaining in the school, because you mentioned that you retain some students and then others will be sent to other schools. My second question concerns actually moving the students from Unical to the number of schools you've listed. Will there be any sort of compensation in terms of movement or financial compensation to enable them actually opt from where they are comfortable with and then go to these strange places? And the third will be sort of an advisory, because I've seen on social media that some students have considered suicide, some have spoken about depression. So I'm advising that in your subsequent meetings with parents and the students, you should put into consideration having maybe a mental health expert or a psychologist actually talk to them to see meaning in what you're doing and assure them that it's not the end of the process. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Ene, Voice of Nigeria. I've actually thought about this, and I'm just thinking about it this way. If the council has accepted that students, they're going to give those universities, despite the fact that we met their quota, they're going to kind of give that leverage or leeway for them to accept local students. Why don't they just give that leverage? I'm in the federal system, and sometimes we know that the usually this undercurrent thing there, because if they've allowed the first graduation to be conducted the first set, second, and then also this is the third one, and there's a hiccup. There must be something somewhere that they're not actually like telling the university. It may not necessarily be the I don't know if they've said anything about, let me just come out, if they've said anything about, money or something happening for them to look the other way like the club previously.
Yeah.
Any other one? Okay, that would be the last.
Dr. Hall, my name is Ash Oswald from Engineering Chronicle. I am one journalist that will give you the VC. You say before you leave office, you try and work on this. But please, I wish to ask, after dentistry today, is there any program or faculty that will likely suffer this problem in the nearest future?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, gentlemen of the press. On the modalities for retention, retaining the students and moving others. When we met with them on Thursday, I actually gave the college some directives to meet as management and come up with their own modality. We as management, we have our own modality. And after this briefing, we saw that we had to send some of them away. We are going to have a joint management college meeting to look at the nitty-gritties, the modalities of all this. But I think one of the modalities that is in my own head and which management has got that is that we rank our students. We rank them. There are 50 students in one class. There are 20 in this class. There are 30 in this class. We want to retain 10. We want to retain 15. We want to retain 20. First 20 based on academic performance. First 20 stay. The others transfer. In that way, you have given them all equal opportunity. Now, those who are to go, which universities they are to go to? Because we are not going to subject our students to going to these individual universities to look for spaces. We are going to do that on behalf of the students. Once we get that too, and like I said, we'll interact with parents. We'll tell them the universities that are ready to do that. Once we get that option, I think too, we are going to put them all into a portal, put them together, put the universities, open the put the number, and work out in such a way that once students key into, they pick that university, the number is reached, that university portal will shut down. So when we open the portal, we ask students, there are 12, 13 universities will be there with their quota. The first student will tell them, we announce to them when we open the portal. So if we are opening the portal 7 a.m. in the morning, all of them will know that on the 15th, 7 a.m., the portal will be closed. And the portal is closed, every one of them will go into the portal to register. First time to register in Uniport. If Uniport wants to take them, the portal shuts. The next set of people go to another university. The first number to register, that way, every student will go get registered in the university that is available. So we will not be accused again of maybe collecting money, because the next thing you hear now is that we are now beginning to collect money to send students to certain universities. So will not be accused of that. We'll try to be as much as possible very transparent in the modalities we are going to adopt. I want to thank you for the suggestion you brought, that in subsequent meetings, we should think of bringing in mental health psychologists to talk to these students. Beautiful and wonderful idea. Really, when I read that one of the students was contemplating suicide, I just felt that we need to talk to them. That is not the end of the world. And that is why we met with them on Thursday. Friday they came again. We still met with them. They came to my house again on Saturday. I still met with. I don't want to drag and say I'm tired, because I want to give them that kind of hope. Even when parents came today, I told them, are you sure you are representing the other parents? Because I met with parents, I know I'm going to meet with parents again. Even if it's one parent that come to us, some are calling. I will try to tell them, not the end of life. So we really will try to do that. Thank you, it's a wonderful idea indeed, which sometimes we overlook in this part of the world. Now, the other one that if council is considering giving special consideration.
Sorry, there's a third one.
Okay, so okay, compensation. So, is there going to be some sort of compensation for these students who are going to leave? I know that one parent, when we met on Thursday, also brought that up. And we said, well, I wish we have the resources to compensate, but we may not have the resources to compensate. When I came on board, and my students were stepped down to year 1 by NUC then, that had denied them accreditation, denied us as a university accreditation in 2019. Year plus before I came on board, but these students were not told. And that's why I'm telling parents they had to, because I don't want to deceive them. Students were not told, lecturers were not told, even deans did not know that their program was stepped down. And you see, until I came on board. From the files, I told them they had to. But there was also misrepresentation in social media that I choose to bring them down because I have personal problems with XYZ. People will always misrepresent facts. When I told them the truth and we're engaging them in meetings, I had several meetings with them. Every day they are demonstrating, I go personally to meet with them and to address them. They talked about compensation. They are paid fees up to the 400 level. We were telling them to come and start year 1 again. What about the fees they have paid? Were we going to compensate them? We said there would be compensation. However, when we came back as an administration, we looked at it. We said we're going to slash the fees by, I think, 50 or 40%, 50% for those students who stepped down. So they ended up paying 50% of the fee in the class they started all over. So in a way, we put a human face. So right now, I won't be able to say anything about compensation because parents are passing through a lot of challenges, financially and otherwise. The same thing the university is also passing through, financially and otherwise. I'm more traumatized than even some parents, than even some students. Since the day I left Medical and Dental Council office, I've been thinking how to solve it. So we'll continue to talk. By the end of the day, there is a way we can talk to our students, we'll talk to them. But I'm not saying there will be compensation, because the university cannot promise that. Can't promise that. Am I done? Okay. Why would they give us the concession? They are giving us concession. They are. And I'm sure that we want to invite the council to come here and, for instance, increase our quota to 25 or 30, which is a possibility. And we end up with slightly a number above. I'm sure council will not frown at that too much. Why this became a problem, to be fair to council, is because of the sheer number, like I said earlier. 60 as against that, 6 times the number. We have graduated 15, the bent backward. We have graduated 14, the bent backward. But the number now is the problem. So definitely, I'm not asking us for anything. No money will change the situation. If it were money, I would have given the money and returned here smiling. You can trust that. It's not about money. It's about the quality, the integrity of the profession, the quality of the students to be graduating. They want to see that we have the facility to train the number of students we are training currently. So it's not there. I don't think there's anything they are hiding. They are all professionals and they want to get the best for their profession. Now the last question says, apart from dentistry, are there other programs? Very likely so. And that is why I have been saying it even to parents. We don't want, in solving one problem, to compound another problem. We begin to say, because parents are pleading, students are depressed, let's move them to med-surg, which is where they would love to be. We are compounding that problem. Even in med-surg now, we have slightly higher quota, but not perhaps that bad for us to worry about. Just like when we were having, like, we didn't worry so much about. So we don't want to compound that problem too. So for just this morning, I actually had a meeting with the provost, the dean, and the past dean. We met privately first before coming to school. And some of these things, this last question came up. We want to take all the issues at the same time. We don't want to start, then after 6 months, another one will come and hear Unical again. Let them hear us once and for all. Let us confront all the problems. And we know that we are out to solve the problems. I told them that we are not going to begin to keep some and say when the time comes. Actually, I can also decide to close those ones, turn a blind eye, manage, buy time, and leave. That you are aware, and leave, and let the next person come and take over and inherit the problem I inherited, a lot of them. But I don't think that because I inherited problems, I should leave problems from another person. If I have my way, I won't leave any problem for any person. I wasn't happy that I inherited the magnitude of problems I inherited. So I really pray God that I shouldn't leave problems for whoever is coming to be the next Vice Chancellor. So we will struggle to solve the ones we can, except it's well over and beyond me and my administration.